Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I have a bone to pick with Gucci because I had a mishap mid-try on of new products with this product right here that's very expensive, a new powder that needs to be canceled. So all in all, we discovered things that were excellent, top shelf, so much new, everything, weird mascaras, all of it put to the test in action to achieve this look, which I do really love. But I have loud opinions as usual. So if you want to see how I get this look, me with no makeup, let's hop right to it in 3, 2, 1. We're gonna go in with a primer from Kulfi. You guys know I have been loving everything Kulfi, and this is said to blur. It also has an ingredient in here that is supposed to help dark spots, which I'm all about. Tranexamic. I have no idea what that is. I literally am just reading about it right now. This feels a lot thicker than I thought it would be, but I guess that makes sense because it is a blurring primer. This also has hyaluronic acid and niacinamide. Now I'm curious. Let's ask my chat.
Tranexamic acid is actually a pretty interesting ingredient that's been making waves in skincare. It's originally a medication used to help reduce bleeding in medical contexts, but topically it's used for its skin brightening and anti-pigmentation properties.
It feels like it should be pilling because it's very sticky and like thicker, but it's not. And I like that ingredient. I want more of it. Slather me right up. Breaking the rules. You guys, I have been putting this to the test against every other contour palette that I have. And now that I'm back into contouring my lips with my ES2, this palette right here from Catrice, the Magic Shaper, I can't do my makeup without it. So if you would like to spend $8 on the very best contour of your life, bonus you get blushes and highlights in here that is better than Makeup Forever, this is quite literally better than luxury. Lately, I've been doing my concealer underneath foundation because I've been back into underpainting. We're gonna use this new one from Makeup Forever. This looks promising. It does come with a little brush on the actual packaging component itself. I'm gonna try it out, but if I need to move into my own brush, we will. But it's a nice touch that it's there. Very thin. This is the HD Skin Full Cover. This is a multi-use concealer you could use on the face. You can use it just on the under eyes, depending on what shade you go for. I'm gonna focus this mainly underneath the eye, maybe bringing down a little bit of a brightening situation around the mouth. It's not as full coverage as I thought it would be, to be honest, but it's not bad. I don't know that I like that brush. This highlights pomegranate extract, niacinamide, and hyaluronic acid, all of those skin-loving ingredients that we see over and over in a lot of our products these days. This does claim to be up to 36 hours of wear time, so it's a very long wear formula. This is a lock-you-in type of a product. What's interesting about this compared to Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer is it's not thick at all. I'm actually gonna go in with a little bit more, and I'm gonna use a different brush, an EX4. This mimics your fingertip and just makes every concealer behave so much better. It doesn't wipe any of the product off, but it just presses it in beautifully and gives you the most gorgeous blend. I'm gonna take a little bit of the excess and just tap on the lid to minimize any of my veins and redness. It has something in here that is holding and not creasing, like right away I can feel almost a little bit of firming action going on. I like it. This is not new, but it is a new shade. Now I decided to go full neutral with my beloved Givenchy blurring. I had been using Cool Undertone. This is 3N. I'm hoping it works out. I'm more aware of my skin's undertone right now because of my darker hair. This looks a little dark. We're gonna find out. We're gonna see how this goes. I'm gonna go in with an SP1. When I am underpainting, I like to get the cheek area first and then go to the mouth, kind of around. Then take just the littlest bit of excess on the forehead. Then I'll take whatever little bit I have left on my palette, grab a little more, go over the lips lightly. Such a good natural finish foundation. I have new powder. This was a spendy item from Gucci. I'm gonna go under my eyes with a little bit of my Carslin powder. I'm so hooked on this. I have to set my under eye area with this powder or my makeup does not look the same. And then we are going to use this on the rest of the face. I could not resist a new launch from Gucci. A, you guys were asking about it. B, I love their highlighters so much that now when I'm in Sephora, I'm always like, all right, well, like, what else do you have for me? So hopefully it's good. I have the Carslin setting spray, like I have not even opened the box. I am so excited because this powder truly is everything. I don't even know why it works so well. It just does something that's noticeable to me. We have the setting spray and then I also have a Carslin eyeliner. So we're kind of doing just new all around. Let's see, do I want to go in with a puff with this? This is the shade 2. Now, something that I noted in the haul is this is extremely fragranced. Like, holy crap. You are gonna smell like Gucci fragrance. That was not the move. Okay, it's clinging in between my eyes so bad. Okay, so I don't like this with a powder puff at all. At all. Can Carslin save the day? Oh my God. Oh, and it's already making me sniffle. No, that was also not the move. Holy crap. Oh, no. No. Damn it, Gucci. Do we see, like, that looks terrible. Terrible, terrible. We're taking it off. Okay, I'm just gonna take a makeup wipe and just kind of get the forehead. I didn't have too much makeup on the forehead, so let's say a makeup prayer, take a deep breath, and go back in. When you do this, when you mess up and you have to remove a portion of your face, you want to let everything dry. You don't want to just panic and go back in. So let all of that moisture from your makeup remover dry off and then go back in with your foundation. I do have a Christian Dior powder though. Should I do this? This is totally translucent, by the way. So let's just kind of pat and see what happens here. Better, better. This has like a luminescence to it though. Like it's got like a little bit of a sheen to it. I kind of like that. I am just to even things out because we gotta kind of go there. I am gonna just like dunk a big fluffy brush and kind of go right on the side here just because this does have some pigment in it and I want it to play well with the rest of my face. Now I have these blushes from Huda and I am so jazzed about them. I kind of want to do this, but this feels aggressively bright and not really the look I'm going for today. This is Roseberry. This is a great contender and this one is really pretty too though. Maybe we do this. This is Toasty Peach. I'm going to take this lighter one because I don't want to be crazy blushed. Taking an SP2 that is patchy. What it could be the powder, you guys. Like sometimes this happens when I'm using a ton of new products all at once. Something goes haywire and the rest of it doesn't want to behave. Really beautiful color. I don't know why this is going on a little patchy. Again, when I'm trying new products, I typically, gonna say with exception of the Gucci powder because it just is not the texture I like. It's really dry, hard, matte, and the fragrance alone is enough to just make me go, never mind. I have so many other powders that I love. But with most products, I will give, you know, a second, third chance just to make sure I wasn't using it with the wrong products underneath. And that's how I feel about this blush. I like the color of it. It's just not blending exactly how I normally get a blend out of powder blushes. I do want to take this little topper here though and see what we can achieve with that. I do like that. We need a little bronze, so we're gonna go into Dior and just warm up the perimeter. This one is also Gag Me fragranced, and every other ingredient in this bronzer is clean, which drives me absolutely batty because I'm like, it can be done. But you had to dump an entire bottle of fragrance in the product, and it makes me want to gag. But I use this one because the finish is really, really next level. However, a lot of you guys were asking me, what do you prefer, Hung Van Gogh or Dior? Because they were kind of tied for a minute. I think because of the fragrance alone, I'm gonna say Hung Van Gogh is the winner. I have a new lipstick from Hourglass. Ooh, it's like my fantasy color. We are gonna go in with Wherever Walnut. Just do a quick little line. This is in the shade Alpine, and it's that perfect peachy, neutral kind of a shade. And the formulation on Hourglass is very luxurious. But stay tuned because I have a spot on dupe for this. And because more is more, we're gonna go on top with a lip plumper from Lawless. This is in the shade Nudie. I feel like I want to diffuse underneath the eye into the blush just a tiny little bit, so I'm going to sneak in a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury just right here. If you ever have patchy blush, that is a nice technique, just lightly. You don't want to take much at all, but you can just lightly powder over the blush. It will help everything to look more even, blended, and just prettier. Finally got my hands on one of these neutral palettes. We have 6 shades in here. This is the medium. They have a light, medium, deep, I believe. I wanted the light, but they were sold out. We're gonna go into the lightest shade right here and just start carving out the crease. That is extraordinarily pigmented. My ES4 is gonna do all the blending for us. Little bit goes a long way with this particular type of shadow. It's a little more buttery and not as firmly packed as, say, a MAC shadow, so you don't really need to go in hard at all. And I kind of want to see if I just kind of graze the nose, if we can get a little revival on the contour. The powder really killed me today. This is buttery and blending so beautifully, but you do need to be careful to not dip too hard and that you're tapping the excess off because otherwise you could have fallout. Taking my SP7, which is the ittiest bittiest tapered brush, we're gonna go into one deeper right here. And do you see the powdery? Like it's very powdery. I don't mind that in a formula. I actually think it can really help you get that nice diffused blend. It's just something to be aware of. So this tinier brush is helping me to get exactly where I want the placement on that outer corner. Just going in circular motions. And then I'm going to take the excess and just kind of go out here. We're gonna go on the lid with the matte creamy shade right here. Ooh, love, love, love. When you get coverage like this out of a matte creamy shade and it is not dusty crunchy, that is beautiful. This might be my new favorite matte vanilla type shade. And it builds really beautifully too. So now I'm gonna go back in with my tinier brush and just make sure that everything right here is joining hands beautifully. We wanna blend to look very seamless. Just wiggling the brush back and forth. I'm into it. I like it so much. I'm tempted to do something that could be an error. We're gonna use it for brows. This is a very loose powder, but very pigmented, so this is either going to be amazing or a disaster. Let's go into this brown right The brows are a little warm, it's fine, it's playtime, it's just makeup. I am enjoying a bolder brow these days, so we're just gonna go with it. Now we are gonna explore just how magical are other items from Catrice. This is their long wear liquid eyeliner. If it's anything like the powder as far as like the wear time goes, I'm gonna be a fan. I have very good feelings about this. This is just in the shade Black. This liner does not skip at all. This is really, really nice. Eyelashes are already curled. We're gonna go in with the world's weirdest mascara. Have you ever seen a mascara wand look like this? We're gonna hope for the best. This is from Refi. Not bad, but it just is weird. Maybe after a few uses you get used to it. It feels a little scary to use. It's pretty, but it's not doing anything so massively different from my other mascaras, so I'm gonna go ahead and say this is a pass. And now I'm gonna go on top of it with another mascara. I meant to buy the big guy of this. This is the new Vertigo Lash from Armani. I have to have a brush that allows me to go in and wiggle and do the whole thing. This brush is very bouncy. Oh my gosh, can I get a firm brush? Oh, that brush is gonna drive me nuts. It's just like wing. It's like not firm enough for me to really pull through my lashes. Do you see how wiggly that is? See, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. It's just a strange sensation. More is more, so we're gonna go in with 423s from Ardell. I almost forgot, I ordered this from Laura Geller. This is Gilded Honey. Do we remember this iconic highlighter that was discontinued that is now back? The absolute chokehold that this highlighter had on the entire beauty community back in the day. I am so pleased. This is like the perfect, baked, gorgeous, beautiful, brightening, smoothing highlighter. I hope it's the same as what I remember. We're about to find out. Oh my God, yes. That is stunning. It just makes the skin literally look wet and somehow golden. I am living my best fantasy right now. It does not exaggerate texture at all. It just beams, but looks like juicy and wet. This was just the sprinkles on top moment for this whole look. It brought everything together. This is such a win. We have one more move. The Carslin Black Magnet Setting Spray. Now this is said to lock your makeup in. And again, the theme with Carslin products is they super hold. Great performance. I will try anything from this brand. I can hear there is something in there shaking around, which tells me there's a powder particle moment within the formula. This is said to give a soft finish, but hold you in tight. Let's give a little mist. It's a nice mist. And we got a little bit of a drench going. That's okay. You can always take your powder puff and kind of, or beauty blender and kind of dab, dab, dab that in. Wish I had my Dyson. All right, so the spray is aggressive on that guy. However, I did use like 10 sprays, so maybe don't go in so hard, but it does melt into the skin like beautifully. The highlight is so spectacular that I'm looking in the monitor and I keep kind of like leaning forward to like catch like the sheen on my own face. Like I am so attracted to how this looks on the skin. That is the slam dunk winner of this entire try on right at the very end. I will let you guys know in the description box how the Carslin products wear. The liner went on beautifully. I wanna see if this guy right here helps to elongate the wear time of my makeup. So I will add a note for you. Outside of that, we don't like this. I think my makeup would be 100 times better had I not put on the Gucci powder. So that was a dud. The Patrick Ta eyes, great. Blendy, I will be reaching for this again and again. The lipstick in Alpine is so gorgeous, luxurious, feels great on the lips, as does the Lawless Plumping Gloss. And then the blushes I will be trying again. I wasn't immediately blown away, but I do like the color setup and I like the toppers. I like the packaging and I typically like Huda powders. So I think it could have been everything underneath kind of being a little bit haywire. The primer was beautiful. And if I have a primer that's gonna help brighten up any of my hyperpigmentation, I think that is a huge win. Makeup forever, not creasing. I'm really excited about this concealer. So I found more things that I love versus things that I don't love, and this was a pretty successful try on. If you guys like this kind of a video where I am testing things in action, please give it a thumbs up. And other than that, you guys go have a great day, whatever you are doing. I love you, and I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah.